Hello. In this video, I will show you how to factor any quadratic equation. To factor a quadratic equation, you should first know what a quadratic equation looks like. So we'll just take this. Our example will be x squared plus 4x plus 4. Now, this is a quadratic equation with numbers in it. Now let's break this down a little and we'll see what a plain quadratic equation looks like. We got ax squared plus bx plus c. That's what a quadratic equation looks like when it's simplified. Now, so we see three variables. We've got the a variable, the b variable, and the c variable. Now we need to find what these equal. So our a variable is equal to, there's nothing in front of the x squared, so we can just assume that a equals 1. Because 1x squared can just be written as x squared. Next, our b variable. The b variable will always be the middle number in the quadratic equation. So we know that number is 4. Now, finally, our c variable. C variable will always be on the end of the equation, there. So our c variable is also 4. Now remember, these three can change. So your a variable can be 20, your b variable can be 10, and your c variable can be 5. It can be anything. Now, to factor a quadratic equation, you must find two numbers. So two numbers that multiply to the c value but add to the b value. So we must find two numbers that multiply to the c value and add to the b value. Now, in simpler terms, we just have to find two numbers that multiply to 4 and add to 4. Now, to find these two numbers, I like to create something called a cab table. Cab table looks like this. That's CA and B. The titles are just your C value times your A value, and on the other side is just your B value. So what's our C times A value? 1 times 4 is 4, and our B value is also 4. Now, we have to find two numbers that multiply to our C value. So C times A value, that column, that's 4, so we have to find two numbers that multiply to 4. We got 1 times 4, and 4 times 1, and then 2 times 2. Now we have to find the sum of each of these. 1 plus 4, 5, that's wrong. 4 plus 1, 5, that's wrong. But 2 plus 2 is 4, and that's the only correct solution. So now we know that our numbers are 2 and 2. So 2 and 2. Now all we have to do is plug these two numbers into this equation. So now we just put these two numbers in, plus 2, plus 2. So our final solution is just x plus 2 times x plus 2. Now we'll go ahead and check that. So x plus 2 times x plus 2. We'll expand this, so x times x is x squared. X times 2 is plus 2x. 2 times x is plus 2x. 2 times 2 is 4. So x squared, 2x plus 2x is 4x, so plus 4x, and plus 4. That's our original equation, so we know that our solution is correct. Now let's look at a slightly different problem. Now, we'll take an example, which is going to be x squared minus 8x plus 12. Now let's just write out our quadratic equation. So ax squared plus bx plus c. So let's now identify our A, B, and C values. Our A is equal to 1. Our B value is actually equal to -8. And our C value is equal to 12. So now let's just create our final equation here. So that way we can just plug it in immediately. X, we got our other X. So now once we find those two numbers, we can just plug them in here. Now let's create our cab table. CA and B. What's our C times our A value? 12 times 1 is 12. And now all we have left is our B value, so it's -8. Now, we have to find two numbers that multiply to 12, but add to 8, -8. So 1 times 12 is 12, but it adds to 13. That's wrong. We've got 2 times 6, that adds to 8. That's wrong. We've got 3 times 4. Those two add to 7. That's wrong. We've got, now remember, two negatives multiplied by each other equals a positive. So now we go into the negatives. We've got -1 times -12. That's -13. Still wrong. We've got -2 times -6. That equals -8. And we've got -3 times -4. That equals -7. And we know that our answer is going to be -8. So the only two correct numbers will be -2 and -6. So now we simply plug it into this final equation. So we've got x minus 2 times x minus 6. Now let's go ahead and check our answer. So x minus 2 times x minus 6. We've got expand this, x squared, and then times that, so minus 6x. -2 times x, minus 2x, and -2 times -6 plus 12. X squared, -6x minus 2x, -8x minus 8x, and plus 12. That's our original equation, so we know that our final solution was correct. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe and leave some comments. Leave questions below in the comments. Thank you.